hey write nerds, it's time for another writing video. Whee! It's still storming outside, the thunder's still going. I didn't plan it this way, but this is when I have time to record, so. This time we are going to talk about describing characters, what they physically look like. Now, as I always tell people, I am just giving advice from my life, my point of view as a writer, and everybody's writing styles are a little bit different. So remember that I am not the be-all and end-all in writing advice. I'm just giving you a little nudge from my angle to see if anything sticks. So when I first encounter any character in my story, I give you a few sparse but important details. These are most of the details that you will get from me. The skin tone of the character. Is it light? Is it dark? Is it somewhere in between? The hair of the character. Color, length, texture, all of that. The body type of the character. Are they tall, short, skinny, heavier? The eyes of the character, which are a big deal for me. I'm into eyes. It's true. What is the color and the shape of your character's eyes? The nose of the character. Is it straight? Is it crooked? Long? Short? Cute? Upturned? And the clothes of the character. Are they practical? Are they lavish? Now, that was my list of things that you'll usually get from me about a character. Pick 3. 3 is all I use initially.
I forgot to mention, but keep in mind that all of these things I'm giving you are just the idea of descriptions. When you describe them for your characters for real, you should definitely use better language than just, she had light brown skin. Tell me that she had caramel skin, with hair the color of obsidian, flecked with moonlight, that fell over her shoulders like the waves caressing the shore. Remember to describe your characters interestingly. You don't just say, she had light brown skin and dark hair. But you can go over the top with the floweriness, so remember to limit yourself to only a few descriptions at a time.
Remember, you're not going to take these things and include every tiny detail. If you decided that one of the 3 details that you get to describe right away is clothes, please just give us a brief overview. We do not need to go into detail about what this character is wearing. Unless your main character who's looking at this other character is a freaking fashionista and would notice all of these tiny clothing details, we don't need to hear it. Just get the color, the general fit, and overall feeling that your main character gets from looking at this clothing. Now don't abandon this list of things. More can be added later. You want to drip feed them to your reader, not dump them all on them all at once. You also want to avoid details that don't matter. Details that don't actually help your reader picture your character. Like if you've got a character that is of average height, don't describe them as tall. That's just confusing. You should only describe a character as tall if his or her tallness actually matters in the story, like they're constantly hitting their head on things, or they look silly when they sit in a tiny chair. Don't point out something about a character unless it's particularly noticeable. Like you can describe a character has curly hair, but you don't need to go into details about it unless the curliness of the hair is a big deal. The other thing you want to drip feed is the description of your main character. A lot of times, especially if you're writing in the first person, you don't get a lot of description of the main character. And I am in the camp that feels that that is fine. If you do want to give more description of your main character, drip feed it slowly, just like the other descriptions of other characters they might meet. Don't dump everything on your reader at once, and try to weave it into the story. Mention things about your main character that matter to how the story is going down. Avoid the, and my character looked in a mirror and now the reader knows everything about them cliche. I know it's a super easy way to do it and it's so tempting, but try to avoid it if you can. Also avoid describing any character in bland ways, such as he was handsome, she was pretty, that thing was cute. These don't really help the reader understand exactly what your character looks like at all. They might help the reader understand how, say, your main character feels about the other person, but you still want to add a few of those little descriptors from my list, or your own list that you make up yourself. Maybe you love hands, and you want hands to be on that list of things you're allowed to describe. Throw that on there. But remember, you only get 3 at first, so make them count. Now here's a big one. Surrender to letting your reader picture your characters however they want. Yes, you can give some brief descriptions, but just Let go of the reader being able to absolutely picture your character in every detail the way you can. Even if you do give every exquisite detail, odds are good that your reader is still not going to picture them that way. Your reader will picture the character the way they want to picture the character. And you know what? That's fine. You gave them some details, you gave them a framework, let them go from there and let their imaginations fly. I know as an author you want everybody to be able to picture your baby exactly the same way you do. That's just not going to happen. So surrender to it, embrace it, give them the few descriptions that can help them form the picture, but don't give them the full picture. It's not going to work anyway. I also highly recommend drawing concept art of the character if you can draw, or making a collage or a Pinterest board of the character so that you get an idea in your own head of what they look like for you. Because it is super important that you are able to picture all of your characters. Just like when I'm reading a book, I'm like watching a movie in my head, the same thing is happening when I'm writing. And I need to know what the characters look like, at least for me. And sometimes it's helpful to have the concept art or the Pinterest or your collage or whatever to look back on to see what you think your character looks like. Some authors even cast their characters from existing people in our world, like actors. And that's fine too. If you have someone that you know your character looks like, then cut out a picture of that person and hang it on your wall. Whatever helps you. So there you go. That's my pretty simple advice for describing characters. Remember your list of key things: skin tone, hair, body type, eyes, nose, clothes. Feel free to add to that list, but remember, when your characters initially meet, you get 3. And you don't get to over-describe those 3. And I would say pick 2 more at most to later slowly drip feed to your reader. Unless there's some other really important description that comes up later that you need for the story, that's all you really have to give your reader. At least in my opinion. I do not like to over-describe. And if you have a problem with over-describing, I definitely recommend these rules for yourself. And hey, maybe you can even use them in your other descriptions, like describing a place. Maybe pick a few key things and then only allow yourself to use 3 to describe a place. Anyway, hopefully this video was helpful to you. If I missed out anything that you think I should have covered, please comment below, let me know. We can totally talk about it. I answer all of my comments. I'm not so popular as I don't have time to answer all of my comments. So you will get interaction with me if you comment. And remember, if you found this video to be helpful, if it brought you joy in any small, meager way, share it with your friends. Because that's the nice thing to do. Sharing is caring. And have fun writing those characters, everybody. I'll see you again next time when I do some other video that will probably be cool. Bye!